से तो आए जाना, हमारे सबके हो जाए आना, बिस्तर धोरे तो कैसे सोए जाना, बिस्तर धोरे लो लो लोरी सुनाना। दिल की धड़कन से तो आए जाना, हमरे सबके हो जाए आना, कभी कभी तो हमसे घबराना, सभी को तुम ही समझाना, अभी अभी तो हमने ही जाना। तू कायना 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 लोरी सुनाना। दिल की धड़कन से तो आए जाना, हमारे सबके हो जाए आना, बिस्तर धोरे तो कैसे सोए जाना, बिस्तर धोरे लो लो लोरी सुनाना, लोरी सुनाना, लोरी सुनाना।
Good evening, everybody. We are back. जिन का दिन चालू हो रहा है उन लोग को गुड मॉर्निंग मुंबई। भाई जो सोए हैं उठ जाओ, जिन के वीडियो बंदे जाग जाओ। हेलो। गुड मॉर्निंग तन्वी, एनएस, अक्षया, मयूर, वैष्णवी, ऐश्वर्या, हर्षित, अभिनव, माधुरी। गुड मॉर्निंग एवरीबॉडी। लोग चैट में हाय बोल रहे हैं। हेलो एवरीबॉडी। प्लीज आप सब लोग के जो भी फ्रेंड्स हैं, दे वांट टू सी हाउ लाइव मॉक्स आर परफॉर्म राइट फ्रॉम रैंकर्स, प्लीज इनवाइट देम। एक सवा घंटे का सेशन होना है, कुछ बिगड़ेगा नहीं एक सवा घंटे में अटेंड करने से, राइट? रजत, यू हैव बीन कंसिस्टेंट यार। आई एम सीइंग लॉट ऑफ पीपल हु आर कंसिस्टेंट यार। थैंक यू फॉर बीइंग कंसिस्टेंट, दैट इज द की। वेलकम, गुड मॉर्निंग। प्लीज ये वाली लिंक मैंने जो अभी चैट में डाली है अपने फ्रेंड्स को शेयर करो। राइट, वी हैव ऑल आवर 3 पैनलिस्ट्स विद अस हियर। सेशन होना है, कुछ बिगड़ेगा नहीं एक सवा घंटे में अटेंड करने से, राइट रजत? ठीक है, ग्रेट। आई वेलकम ऑल द 3 पैनलिस्ट्स। वेलकम सर। I would like to hand over the mic to the host for today. Kinjal is the host for today. Let us give a round of applause to her. Over to you, Kinjal.
Hi everyone.
Yes. Somebody is asking questions. Yes, you can ask questions as well. We'll have a Q&A session at the end. कुछ लोगों को लिख के आ रहा है not audible. Am I audible? Kinjal, can you speak something?
Yeah,
Yes, you're audible, sir.
For those it is not audible, you need to connect your audio. Okay.
Join your audio, connect with an internet.
Great, great. Over to you, Kinjal.
So, hi everyone. I'm
Hello,
sure अभी hi कौन बोल रहा है ये?
Rajat here.
अच्छा, okay. Hi, sorry. Okay, hi. So अभी काफी लोगों की आर्टिकलशिप चल रही होगी या खत्म हो गई होगी. तो जैसे कि हम लोगों ने ऐसे बहुत कॉम्प्लेक्स क्रिटिकल क्लाइंट्स सिचुएशंस और सबसे ज्यादा मशीन्स जैसे कि प्रिंटर फोटोकॉपी और ऑफ कोर्स कॉफी मशीन ये सब हमने अपने आर्टिकलशिप में किया है. तो बट अब हम ये इंटरव्यू में तो नहीं बोल सकते हैं. तो इंटरव्यू में क्या बोलना है और स्पेशली क्या नहीं बोलना है उसके लिए वी हैव दीज 3 मॉक इंटरव्यू सेशंस टुडे. So before I tell you the flow of the event, I would like to introduce our guests, and these 3 guys will be performing the mock interviews for you. So first of all, we have, so I'm sorry if I pronounce your name incorrectly, but it's Gurram Pradeep. I'm wrong, I know. Can you please correct me?
Yeah, it's Praneeth.
Praneeth, okay,
Yes,
sorry
yes.
Praneeth.
Yeah,
So we
that's
have
it.
Praneeth who was उनकी रैंक वही आई थी जितनी बार हम लोगों ने रैंक का सपना सोचा था. फिर हमें पता चल गया सिलेबस काफी ज्यादा है. सो हिज रैंक वाज 1. तो हमने भी एक ही बार ऐसे सपना देखा होगा रैंक लाने का. बट ठीक है, हिज रैंक वाज रैंक 1. So and now he's working with ONGC, and then we have AIR 12 with us, Anand. Hi Anand. And then we have Umang Gupta, and he was AIR 3. And both Anand and Umang are currently pursuing PGP from IIM Ahmedabad
and Bangalore respectively.
अच्छा, सॉरी, आई एम सॉरी. IIM तो है ही ना, मतलब ठीक है. बड़ी बात तो है ही. ठीक है. तो so these 3 will be performing mock interviews for today. अब basically
let's take a moment to give a round of
yeah,
applause.
we can
to
just
these
have a
3.
virtual round of applause for them. Please everyone unmute and clap.
Thank you all 3 of you. They've taken out some important time from their schedules, and they are doing it for you all. They are present here for you all to train you how to reach where they've reached, and much beyond, right? So they'll train us on how an ideal interview should look like, how the flow should be, what answers you can give, should give, right? Okay, Kinjal.
तो अभी 2 मॉक इंटरव्यू सेशंस होने वाले हैं. फर्स्ट सेशन विल बी सॉर्ट ऑफ स्ट्रेस मॉक इंटरव्यू, एंड इट विल लास्ट फॉर अराउंड 25 minutes, and then 5 minutes we'll have some time for feedback. And then second interview session will be a normal mock interview, and we also have they've also selected profiles. So one profile, I mean one of the candidates will be applying for audit, and the other will be applying for investment banking. So whoever is interested in, मतलब वैसे तो दोनों ही अच्छे से सुनना, काम तो सभी आएगा, but just for your information I'm letting you know. So how we'll go about it today is that we'll be having 2 mock interview sessions. उसके बाद we also have time for you to ask questions. You can ask questions to these 3 rankers, and then tomorrow what we have for you is that amongst you or any other people who, no, not other people, जो आज आए हैं और जो कल आए थे और जो कल भी आएंगे, सिर्फ उन्हें मौका मिलेगा इंटरव्यू देने का. So you people will get a chance to give mock interview. तो कल के डिफरेंट पैनलिस्ट रहेंगे, वो लोग आएंगे एंड वो आपको हेल्प करवाएंगे. एक मॉक इंटरव्यू आप खुद दे सकते हो. ऑल्सो जस्ट टू लेट यू नो कि जो भी कल मॉक इंटरव्यू देने वाले हैं उनको जिसका भी बेस्ट इंटरव्यू रहेगा उसको 1000 रुपीज का कैश प्राइज मिलेगा, एंड जो सेकंड बेस्ट इंटरव्यू रहेगा उसको मिलेगा 750 का, और जो तीसरा बंदा होगा उसको भी 500 रुपए मिलने वाले हैं. तो बेसिकली तीनों को कुछ ना कुछ मिलेगा और साथ में मॉक इंटरव्यू तो हो ही जाएगा. So not wasting any more time of yours, I would just hand over to the 3 of them so that they can go ahead with mock interview.
Great.
Yeah, thank you, Kinjal. So the first interview is the stress interview, and Anand Shah would be the candidate, and me and Praneeth are the panelists. So Anand, please let us know when you'll be ready, and then we can start.
Yeah, I am ready. So I am going to be I am going to apply for the position in an investment bank. So Yeah, we can start.
Great. So एक काम करते हैं, बाकी सब लोग प्लीज आप एक बार म्यूट कर दीजिए. Only these three will be speaking. So I'll just tell you the scenario. Anand is applying. Anand is the candidate. We are doing a role play of an interview. How it goes, right? So Anand, you can see Anand on your screen. Anand Shah is the candidate, and the people who are taking the interview are Praneet and Umang, right? So these two people are on the panel of the company who have come to take interview of Anand, right? Anand is appearing in front of them, in front of the panel. Thank you. Go on. Over to you, Umang, Praneet, and Anand.
Yeah. So hi Anand, how are you? Tell me something about yourself.
Yeah, Umang, I am good. So yeah, sure. So I am basically from Ahmedabad, born and brought up in Ahmedabad. I have done my CA, got all India rank 16 in my CA inter and all India rank 12 in my CA final. I did my 36 months of articleship with PwC Ahmedabad in the statutory audit department. Along with my CA, I also pursued my BCom from HL College of Commerce, a well-known college at Ahmedabad. After clearing my CA, I worked for a few months at Deloitte Forensic at Bangalore and a few months at EY Transaction Advisory Services at Mumbai. After my three different stints at three different Big Fours, I joined IIM Ahmedabad in 2 years MBA program. So currently I am going through my second term of the first year. So yeah, that's all about myself.
So why are you looking for your role change currently?
So the basic purpose of mine while going through the CAT exams and to get into MBA was to shift my career from compliance side to more of a finance side. So I'm looking for a career in an investment bank. So I have done a good part of a role in auditing, forensic audit, and financial due diligence at M&A arm of a Big Four. So now it's time for me to get into directly an investment bank. So I think this is the right time and I should be switching.
So if it is your core area, you should have tried it from beginning itself. Why now?
So yeah, so while getting into an investment banking, one should have a good knowledge of financial statements. Secondly, business, and thirdly, the compliance side. That is the basic necessity for an investment banker. So on a day-to-day basis, I as an analyst at an investment bank would be preparing financial models that requires pre knowledge of financial reporting. So I guess the 3 year stint at statutory audit was must for an investment bank that made me ready for it. So I don't think a career directly into an investment bank would be much better than what currently I am going for.
So Anand, I had a question for you. You mentioned that you worked at PwC, then you moved to EY, then you moved to Deloitte. So I mean, I don't get the point that you're not sticking to one firm and leaving firms every 3 months. So if we hire you, I mean, you probably would leave our bank and move to a competitor, say a JP Morgan or a Credit Suisse. So I mean, so for me as a panelist, it gives me, I mean, I'm not really confident that if I hire you, you'll stay for long in my company. I mean, your past track record shows that you change your jobs at your own will and you don't stick around.
Yeah, and I understand. So basically, first I will tell you about my reasons for leaving PwC and Deloitte to join the next firms, and then I will tell why I would be sticking to the firm. So basically, I spent 3 years of my time at PwC audit. It's a good time to learn auditing. So I then thought PwC was an undisputed leader in auditing at that point of time. So 2016 to 2019, I worked on some big clients. So yeah, that was a great experience. I then thought that auditing was my core interest area. So I was excited to explore it more further, and forensic audit, as we all know, is an emerging area which I thought that would give me an exposure to like high profile frauds and I personally found it very challenging at that point of time. And Deloitte,
So
for
Anand,
Deloitte,
sorry to interrupt you. Sorry to interrupt you. So what you're telling me is that Deloitte and the PW, what you're telling me is PwC does not have any forensic arm in India, and that is why
yeah.
you had to
So
shift to.
yeah. So every Big Four has every Big Four has every offering. So everyone has audit, everyone has forensic. But PwC is a leader in statutory audit. Deloitte is a leader in forensic audit. EY is a leader in mergers and acquisition. So if I want to make myself ready for forensic audit, I should work at the leader. And I think the firm that I am applying to right now is a leader in investment banking. So a second doubt does not come in my mind that I will be switching in foreseeable future. I am very much sure that.
So Anand, taking your hypothesis, say 6 months down the line, we are no longer the market leaders. Some other firm, say JP Morgan, has overtaken us in investment banking in India. So does that mean that you'll leave us and move to the market leader so that you can learn
So
there?
I am giving the ranking about the top firms in a manner of my learning. So PwC, when I say that PwC is a leader in auditing, it's about the processes and methodologies that PwC follows and not the market ranking of auditing. So I think the methodology that your firm or possibly our future firm follows for investment banking is not comparable. I think you will agree to it. Market ranking is on the other side. I will be working on only one project and not each and every project which the firm takes into. So I am thinking about my learning at that point of time.
So speaking of fraud, so what would you do if you see one of your colleague is involved in a fraud? Are you going to protect the company or are you going to protect your colleague?
Firstly, I would like to get some clarifications. So my colleague is indulged in a fraudulent activity, as far as I understand.
Yes.
This has a financial loss to the company.
Yes.
And so anything which is unethical, I would try to stop it at there. And if not, I would highlight it to the respective authorities. So every firm, and I also think that your firm would also be having a whistleblower mechanism. So without a second doubt, I will be first contacting with the friend, try to understand his point of view. And if I still find that there's something unethical which is going on, I will escalate the situation through the whistleblower allegations. So the basis of friendship does not count in as far as frauds and unethical behavior is concerned.
So do you like handling things individually or you're a team player?
That depends upon the kind of assignments and kind of projects. So I have worked on both. So I have been in a team of 4 players at Deloitte. I have been in a team of 30 people at PwC Audit, and I have worked alone in my one assignment at EY. So I think every engagement that kind of challenges determines whether I would be working in a team or in a group. I personally enjoyed working in a team because there is so much to learn from different people having greater experience than obviously mine. So I personally enjoyed working in a team, but I can work alone if the challenges of the engagement requires.
Yeah, Anand. So I have one basic question. Why should I hire you? I mean, give me 3 reasons why I should hire you.
Yeah, sure. So firstly, as far as I think the role of an investment banker, what a role of an investment banker requires. Firstly, the knowledge of finance and some practical experience. Secondly, the knowledge of business and enthusiasm to learn new things about business. And thirdly, working larger number of hours. So I can demonstrate my skill set in all those 3 areas. So knowledge of finance, I have done my CA, got All India rank 12. I am currently studying at IIM Ahmedabad, the top B school in India. So that demonstrates my knowledge of finance, and I have worked for 3 years at statutory audit department. So that thing is always there. Secondly, the knowledge of business. So rather than being at a compliance side, I've always wanted to learn the things from business point of view, and that was my basic reason for moving to MBA. So that also demonstrates my enthusiasm for learning about business facets. And thirdly, working large number of hours. I have worked with 3 of the big fours which are well known for the large number of working hours. So I don't think I have to give an explanation for this part. So these 3 things would make you think that I can be a good candidate for your role.
So Anand, what you're basically telling me is the textbook answer of why should I hire you. I want to know the real answer, why the real Anand Shah wants to join a bank, and not the textbook answer. So I've interviewed 30 odd candidates since morning and everyone is giving me the same answer. So what sets you apart?
Yeah, I would like to ask one clarificatory question. So what skill set basically you find in a new hire that differentiates other who are not, let's say, your employee? So I can draft my answer on that basis.
So I would share that with you at the end of the interview, but at the moment I want to know why you I mean, you must have thought about there are 10 odd investment banks in the country, and you have a stellar profile with an IIM Ahmedabad and CA rank and stuff. So why do you really want to join a bank? So I want to know the real reason and not the textbook answer, which all the candidates are giving me since morning.
I guess all the candidates might be equally excited for this role. I don't think I have found any book for how to crack an interview at investment bank, so I'm not sure. So I think if you ask me any specific question, I can narrate, but a generic question, I am not sure I have an answer to this.
Okay, sure.
So given a situation where your employer is forcing you to commit a mistake or will intentionally asking you to commit a fraud or mistake, how will you convince your employers, co-employees and employer?
Yeah, sure. So first, I would like to evaluate the situation from companies versus my manager's point of view. So my immediate employer is my senior or my manager. The ultimate employer is the company. So if the company policy allows committing the mistake, I would reassess my role at that company, whether I should continue my employment or I should find some another employment. So I am very much honest and I should be clear about this at the upfrontly. Secondly, if my immediate manager wants me to do something which is against the company policies and company's framework of ethics, I would try to escalate this situation through some whistleblowing committee or something like that by contacting the partner or director or any other senior authority who is responsible for maintaining the ethical environment at the firm. And as regards the communication to the employer or the co-employees is concerned, I would be very much clear about communicating them the consequences that might follow due to doing that mistake that he is asking me to. And obviously, I will not be indulging in those activities.
Got it. So Anand, where do you see yourself 5 years down the line? And if at all you stay in this firm, which I'm not very sure, seeing your past experience of shifting firms every 3 months. So what are your five-year plans, career plans for the next 5 years?
Yeah, so after 5 years, I think that I would be playing a major role in any deal. So that goal is I'm very much clear about this goal. And as far as working at a firm for long term is concerned, if my goal, as I mentioned about getting to know more about business and finance, while engaging in enriching communication with the client is concerned, I won't think of switching a firm. So I think that I will be playing a key role in breaking any investment deal after 5 years. Key role, when I say a key role, a role that matters, a role which is taken seriously by the clients, and the advisory which is taken seriously by the client, and that role comes at a level of, I guess, VP or something, VP or above. So yeah.
Fair point. Got it. Praneet, do you have any more questions?
Yeah, sure. So How do you think this interview is going so far?
It's going great, I guess.
Sure, I think I'm done. If you have any more questions, Praneeth.
So that's it, I think. So
Anand, do you have any questions for us?
Yeah, sure. So what job profile, basically, I read the job profile, I read the job description that was given to me. I was pretty excited about the role. And what do you think a typical profile of a fresher in an investment bank looks like? And you said that I read your profile as well. You also come from statutory audit background. So does being a CA and having worked at statutory audit department help in getting into investment banking, or you suggest contrary?
So Anand, we don't really give a lot of importance to the past background of the candidate. What we are looking for is a candidate who is hardworking, diligent, eager to learn. I think these are the most important traits for us as a recruiter. And I mean, all the candidates have got stellar profiles, all have got amazing academics, amazing degrees. So, but what differentiates someone from the rest is their willingness to learn and how their integrity, because in an investment bank, there'll be times when there'll be a lot of conflicts of interest, and we don't want our firm's name to come in any big fraud or something. So I think integrity, willingness to work, and a team player. I think these are the three main qualities which I think we are looking for.
Got it. Answer the questions. Thanks.
Yeah. Thank you, Anand. Have a great day ahead.
thank you.
Great.
Thanks, Umang. Thanks,
Great.
Praneeth.
Great. Thank you to all three of you. Let's give a big round of applause for these three people. It has taken immense hard work for these to come, and we've set it up like that so that we cover all the questions around all the different type of questions that get asked in an interview. That also included some questions that are generally asked, some technical, some non-technical, right? So that you get a brief of how it goes, right? So thank you, all three of you. Do keep taking notes, right? How they're answering, the structure, what answers they've given to specific questions, right? Do keep taking notes. In the end, we will have a Q&A session as well with these guys, right? Great. Shivam?
Yeah. So I just like to summarize the interview. What are the key learnings from this interview? So if I see, the first question was about introduce yourself. The answer which Anand gave was a short, crisp, and to the point. He was not stretching the answer, which you are supposed to take note of that. Second, the question was ki, why are you looking for a change? Okay. So this question, Anand answered very smartly. What he did is he put the ball in the interviewer question. He said that I have read your profile as well, and you have also moved from a statutory audit to this department. So how did you approach it when I think Umang asked the last question ki, why are you looking for a change in what profile he's offering? So he smartly put the ball in the interviewer question, stating that ki, you have also changed your role. So he was making his pathway clear. Okay. Third question, which he said, was about the building a trust. How can we trust you? Okay. So here he pointed out in a very smart manner, and why he is leaving, he pointed out in a two-way. Why he want to leave and what he is expecting from a new role. And he gave the answer in a point-wise manner, which is very, very important. When you're counting the points, it feel like interviewer ko aisa lagta hai ki, haan yaar, this is the person whom I want. And he is very clear to his thoughts. Okay. Next question was a case study based. If you have seen the interview carefully, the answer of the case study was given very fast, very fast. Matlab, he was not thinking ki what matlab ye dikhta hai ki andar se he is prepared, okay, which shows an confidence towards an interview ki haan yaar, Anand is the person who is prepared and I want him, okay. Next question which was asked was ki whether he's a team player and whether he likes to work individually. I like that answer too much. मतलब बहुत बढ़िया तरीके से वो आंसर था. It was like दोनों उन्होंने बोला कि हाँ मैं इंडिविजुअली भी काम कर सकता हूँ, मैं टीम में भी काम कर सकता हूँ, बट मैं टीम में काम करना प्रेफर करता हूँ क्योंकि मेरे को लर्निंग्स अच्छा होता है, बट ऐसा नहीं है कि मैं इंडिविजुअली काम नहीं कर सकता. Okay, so he gave the answer in very best manner, which everyone supposed to give. What अगर ज्यादातर अगर तुमको कोई इंटरव्यू में पूछता है तो तुम बोलते हो इंडिविजुअली हम अच्छा कर सकते हैं, टीम में अच्छा कर सकते हैं, बट यू आर सपोज टू गिव विद सम बैकअप कि why do you like the teamwork, why do you like an individual working. Next is why should I hire you? Okay, why should I hire you? He gave it a point wise. He gave a 3-4 points ki these are the points because of which you should hire me. Okay, so this should be point wise, which gives an interview again a clear idea ki yeah, this is the person whom I want. After that, what was the question? Again, one case study based question was given, so which was given in a very best manner, and always one of the best way to lifeline जो बोलते हैं ना पूरे interview का lifeline is the last question. Okay, which Anand used very wisely. जैसे interview always ask do you have any question? Okay, तो वो पॉइंट में जो तुम्हारा इंटरव्यू जहां पे गलत हुआ है, समथिंग यू हैव डन रॉन्ग, दैट इज द टाइम यू आर सपोज्ड टू करेक्ट एवरीथिंग. एंड आनंद डिड इट वेरी नाइसली कि हाँ यार कि आई एम अ ट्रस्टवर्दी पर्सन, आई एम नॉलेजेबल, आई एम वर्किंग इन IIM, आई हैव एक्सपीरियंस ऑफ अ बिग फोर्स and I am the person whom you are looking for. तो वो जो लास्ट क्वेश्चन होता है that is a master stroke question. मास्टर स्ट्रोक क्वेश्चन तुमको खेलना पड़ता है और उसमें मास्टर स्ट्रोक आंसर तुमको देना पड़ता है, and that decides you कि तुमको वो सिलेक्ट करेगी कि नहीं. क्योंकि जो लास्ट क्वेश्चन रहता है ना वो इंटरव्यू के दिमाग में छपा हुआ रहता है. जो फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन का आंसर देते हो और लास्ट क्वेश्चन का आंसर देते हो वो इंटरव्यू के दिमाग में छपा हुआ रहता है, और you are supposed to create some impression before you are leaving. Okay, so Anand did it very well. So Anand, heads off to you, man. And I think we have met earlier in Bangalore itself, right? So we'll connect you offline after that. So Kinjal, over to you.
Can we take 2-3 questions people are commenting, or shall we do it at the end?
I think we'll do it at the end, everything.
Let's do it at the end because
Okay.
Anand has to go before 9, right? So let's finish the other round of interview before 9, and then we can have Q&A session after this round of the case interview.
Okay. So shall we proceed for interview round 2?
Yes. Great. So now Umang is playing the student, right? So Umang is playing the applicant, and Praneeth and Anand will role play as panelists, right? So Praneeth and Anand अभी Umang को questions पूछेंगे, right? Umang Gupta को questions पूछेंगे for the interview. And एक बार profile आप बता दीजिए Umang कि किस profile के लिए हम apply कर रहे हैं, so it's better understood by everybody.
Yeah, so I'll be applying for a consulting role in a big company, say a McKinsey or a BCG. So the consulting or probably I think probably auditing would be more applicable for the students. So I think let's keep the interview based on statutory audit of a Big Four.
Great. Over to you, Praneeth and Anand.
Yeah, hey Umang. So give a candid description of yourself, describing who you are as an individual, and give examples as necessary.
Yeah. So hi. So my name is Umang. I'm a chartered accountant by profession. So I got All India rank 3 in the May 19 attempt. Post that I worked at Marico Industries for 7 odd months, and then I did my MBA from IIM Bangalore. About my interest, I love to play chess. I'm an international rated FIDE chess player, and I think playing chess helps me to focus and get my concentration right. And apart from that, I love watching cricket. I'm a big time cricket fan. And about my personality, I think I'm interested in everything. I like to meet a lot of people, interact with them, build meaningful friendships with them. So I think that's how I would describe myself as a person.
So all of your credentials say that you have a great profile for investment bank or consulting. So why auditing?
In a profile in audit would help. So firstly, audit is a client-facing job. So in auditing, you get exposure of different industries, say right from a cement company to a telecom company to a pharma company and so on, and different domains. You get exposure of different domains when you're auditing a client. So you'll see the entire business start to end. You'll be able to see the entire value chain. And that's how I think you would be able to learn more about the business, how the client is making money, how the operations are going on. So for me, I think it would be a great learning experience, working and also working in a Big Four. So at a Big Four, you've got the best of the best auditing practices in the across the entire world. The managers, the partners are exceptionally knowledgeable. And for me, I think the learning at a Big Four would be exceptional, and I would be able to add a lot of value to the firm.
Yeah. What do you think are your major strength and weakness areas, and why you think? Do you think your areas of weakness are your areas of improvement, and why, and how are you working on it?
So, firstly, if I would like to talk about my strength, so my strength is I like to go above and beyond what is expected of me. So, whenever I'm given a task, I don't blindly, absent-mindedly do that particular work. I try to understand the larger picture, that why this task is being done, what is the role of it in the entire picture of the organization, how will it contribute to the organization or to the audit at hand. So, how will my role contribute to the entire auditing that our firm is doing. So because of that, I try to see the larger picture, and I go above and beyond what is expected of me. So rather than so if my manager asked me to do some task A, I would also like to see the things which are related to the task A, and I think that helps me to deliver better results to the firm. But it also is a weakness at times, because I end up taking some extra time because of it, and I sometimes there are chances that I might delay a deliverable a bit. So I'm trying to work on my time management so that I'm able to meet all the deadlines.
Here is a technical question for you. So,
Yeah.
how do you fair value an asset, and what is the purpose for what is the purpose for fair valuation?
Going to the basic general accounting. So the basic accounting concept earlier was the historical cost concept, wherein we used to show the asset at the historical cost. But the problem with it was that it does not show the actual fair value of the asset that belongs to the company. So it leads to understatement or overstatement of the assets and correspondingly to the profits, and does not give the shareholders a true and fair picture of the entire balance sheet, the financial position of the company, the profitability of the company. So that is why the Ind AS and the IFRS, the global IFRS, asked us to adopt the fair value method of accounting, and I think this is the reason, the rationale behind it.
So, how do you verify whether asset is fair valued or not, and how can you check the fair valuation?
So to check whether an asset is fair valued or not, so I would firstly stick to the relevant accounting standard or the Ind AS that we have at hand, and follow the prescribed methods in it. But I'm sorry, at the moment I can't recall the exact valuation techniques that we have, but I would love to read more about it and learn more about it.
So, is there any difference between internal financial controls and internal controls over financial reporting? If yes, what is it?
So the section the section, I think 132 of the Companies Act tells us. Section 143 of the Companies Act tells us that the internal controls of the company, the auditor needs to verify the internal financial controls of the company, whether they're operating effectively or not. In IFC, we check the controls which have got financial implications. So we do not see the controls with non-financial or operational implications. In our audit, we stick to the ones which have got which can impact our numbers, which can impact our financial statement numbers, our profitability numbers, or our balance sheet numbers. So these are the controls that we test in IFC, and we do not test the other controls, the operational ones, which do not have any financial impact.
What is the underlying purpose for creation of a deferred tax?
In deferred tax, so the concept in case of deferred taxes, there are a lot of adjustments, there are a lot of discrepancies or deviations in what is done in accounting and what is done as per the Income Tax Act 1961. So just to give an example, when we see depreciation in case of accounts, that would be as per the Companies Act. So we would either follow the straight line method or the WDV method. But when it comes to income tax, we have to follow the Income Tax Act 1961, which prescribes the WDV method and the rate of depreciation. So most of the times the rate of depreciation in income tax and in Companies Act would be different. And to account for these temporary differences, we have to make deferred tax adjustments.
Umang, you understand that we might find ourselves in the situation of moral conflict sometimes, wherein we have to choose one between two right alternatives. So have you ever been into such kind of situations, and how did you resolve those situations, and narrate an example?
So do you mind if I take a couple of seconds to think about it?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So during my undergraduation, I was the fest coordinator. So there was a college fest called Moneta, which was a finance fest, and we had ordered Bose speakers for all the speakers in that festival. So there were around 10 odd Bose speakers which were extra, and the committee members were thinking what to do with those speakers. So some of them were thinking that, no one will know that these are extra speakers, and why not we take it home ourselves. So I was faced with a choice whether to follow with all what all the other members were doing and, take the speaker home myself, or the right way of doing, which was to, understand the fact that this property does not belong to me. It is college money, and ethically we should not indulge in such a practice. So I decided to take the latter option because despite the fact that I could have got an expensive, say 10,000 odd speaker free of cost, but then I would have the guilt of, doing the wrong thing for the rest of my life. And for me, integrity is one of the most important things in life. So I thought that, I'll buy a speaker working hard with my own money rather than kind of stealing it from the college property.
And can you give us any example where you have given maximum of your efforts, but the result is not in the way you have intended, and how you have faced it?
Yeah. So during my CA final, in the first exam, that was financial reporting, I had prepared very hard. I had given a lot of mock tests and revised the course 5 to 6 times. But then during the exam, I did not manage time well, and I ended up missing around 10 to 12 marks of the paper. So I could not complete the entire paper. I could do only 88 or 89 marks of paper. So firstly, I was very sad, depressed, frustrated that despite putting all these efforts from the last 6 odd months, I screwed up the FR paper. But after some time, I gained my composure and I tried to think that what went wrong, what was the mistake that I did, so that it does not repeat in the next 7 papers, which I had to give. So for the next 7 papers, I made a full-fledged strategy of time management, made a plan of which question to attempt when during the reading time that we get. So we get 15 minutes reading time before every exam. So for the remaining 7 exams, I made a full-fledged time management strategy, and I ensured that for the remaining 7 exams, I did not miss any question and I could attempt the paper entirely. So this was my major learning from the incident.
Can you tell us your greatest achievement so far?
So I think this incident of screwing up the first paper, going down and then rising up and getting an All India rank 3 would be my biggest achievement, because the incident could have taken, if I was depressed by the incident and I'd taken it to my heart, and I could have probably screwed up the remaining papers also. So I was very calm, composed, and I tried to learn from my mistake, and I could achieve a single digit rank. So I think this was my greatest achievement.
So, how do you audit ledger of legal expenses?
In case of legal expenses, I would like to do substantive testing by vouching the vouchers. So I would probably try to do a monetary unit sampling or stratified sampling of sorts to vouch the samples. Apart from that, I would also like to see the nature of the expense, the major law firms to whom we are paying money, because there's another element to it, which is the case of contingent liabilities. So my legal and professional expenses P&L account would help me to also cross verify whether the client has disclosed the contingent liabilities well. So I would like to see the major law firms and probably send a legal confirmation to them asking what all lawsuits are pending against the firm, and then checking whether they've been disclosed well in the financial statements.
So, one final question for you. So, how you are going to assess the going concern for your particular client?
Yeah, so in case of going concern, I would like to follow the guidelines given in Ind AS 1 and Auditing Standard 570. So the Auditing Standard 570 tells us that there are 3 categories of parameters for going concern, which would be financial, operational, and other. So I think I would like to see all these parameters and see whether there are any indications if the going concern of the entity is hampered or badly affected or not, and then act accordingly. So I would like to also hold conversations with the client, with the top management, take their viewpoints and see the larger picture at hand, and not merely follow the technical requirements of the standard, because most of the insights that we get is by interaction with the client, by interacting with the top management and the other the process heads of the client. So I would like to follow a hybrid approach of following the technical standard as well as holding conversations and getting the client's insights.
Yeah, that's it. Anand, if you are having any questions, you can proceed.
I guess I am also done. So Umang, do you have any questions for us?
I would like to ask you that what kind of people thrive in your organization. I mean, we see reports of high attrition rates of Big Fours. So why do you think why do you think that people leave such an amazing profile, and what kind of people thrive in such an environment?
Yeah, sure. I would like to take up this question. So I have had a good number of years in auditing, and what I know, when I started, I was with hundreds of associates who joined me at the same time, but currently I am left with only 10 of them after this many large number of years. What I find differently in those 10 candidates, which differentiates them from those 100 associates, is a zeal for learning businesses. So audit is the only profession in which you ask any question to the client with respect to either business or financial reporting, and you will be getting an answer. So you have to question the judgments taken by the clients. You have a freedom to understand the business of clients in as much depth as you want. That is the only thing which I think that differentiates audit from other professions, and those who have a zeal to explore these sites are the only ones who will be with the auditing profession for long. Secondly, I understand that, and you would also understand that it requires larger number of hours. So if someone who is not interested in learning those things but sees audit only as a profession which requires larger number of hours to put in, I am sorry to say that it's not a profession for those candidates for long term, I at least. So I hope it answers your question.
Yeah, it does. Thank you so much.
Great, great. Again, let us give a very round of applause for all these three people. Thank you, Umang. Thank you, Praneeth. Thank you, Anand. I hope you've taken notes. Shivam will summarize the whole interview, right? Just one request: YouTube पे जो लोग देख रहे हैं and other people who have questions, please keep them noted. We'll have a 10-minute Q&A session after Shivam has summarized this interview. I also request all the people viewing on YouTube, please ask your questions in the comment section in the YouTube. We'll try to take up questions from there as well. Shivam.
Yeah. So our discussion started with, can you give us a candid discussion? Okay. So in this type of question, how you're supposed to answer is, you need to brief your resume in short directly. Second, what Umang did is he gave a candid discussion in a very better manner. Suppose if someone asks you, it's like introduce yourself. Okay. So if someone asks you introduce yourself, so he covered everything. If someone wants to give an introduction about themselves, please listen that point very carefully. He gave an idea about he's a chess player, how he likes a cricket, how is code, how is performing currently. So everything he tried to cover it. Next question is it was asked why auditing. Okay, so again you need to showcase the interviewer that you are interested in his job, you are interested in his role. Okay. Third question is a SWOT analysis, which is very, very important, and it is asked in most of the interviews. Okay. Have you done your SWOT analysis? And this analysis, you need to correlate with the company's SWOT analysis, like what the companies want. Suppose he mentioned he has a strength, he's a team player, and he can help the firm in achieving a longer vision. Plus also he can help the firm in the audit assignments he is going to work. Okay. So in this way, you need to put the SWOT analysis. It should not be like you're सिर्फ अपनी ही तारीफ कर रहे हो SWOT एनालिसिस में, वैसा नहीं करना है. यू आर सपोज टू डू एन ओवरऑल SWOT एनालिसिस, तुमको बताना है कि हाँ यार ये मेरा स्ट्रेंथ है और ये कंपनी में इस तरीके से तुमको मदद कर सकती है. ओके. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन वाज टेक्निकल क्वेश्चंस. So technical questions can vary from one interview to another, but the way Umang answered it, so few things you need to keep in mind when you are answering a technical questions. The first is you are supposed to mention the words which you have read in the Indias or AS, जहाँ पे आपने पढ़े हो या audit में जो पढ़े हो. Better to use that words. Better to use some technical words. उससे ये लगता है कि यार person is well experienced enough, person has a good knowledge about the subject, and he understand the complicated or technical terms. Okay, so एक trust build up होता है when you are using this technical terms. Second is if you don't know the answer, see Umang said it कि I am keen to learn. I don't know more about the valuation method, but I am keen to learn about it. See the way he drafted it was very, very good. तुम लोग क्या करते हो? I don't know. This is not the way you should answer. I don't know because of this, and I am keen to learn. So you should draft in that manner, which should be noted when you're answering this type of questions. In one of the question, Umang also mentioned कि he is not aware of the he asked for a time. Can I just take a few seconds of time? Okay, so this can be asked only once. Avoid asking it, but at least you can ask one or twice. But it should not be like that. You are asking for every question. I need a minute. I need a minute. I need a minute. So interviewer will feel like, yaar, isko kya bhai? So it should not be that way. Next is ready to accept the mistake. Yes, Umang was ready to accept the mistake which he did in the first paper FR. And how that spirit held up to score him All India rank 3, he related in a very good manner. Okay, so how his weakness helped him to achieve his goal. So he has marked in a very good manner. बहुत अच्छे से उसने उसको लिंक किया और वो कंपनी को भी बताया कि हाँ यार देखो मेरे अगर मैं गलती भी करता हूँ तो मैं उससे सीखता हूँ और मैं उसको आगे ले जाता हूँ. ओके, सो दैट बिल्ड्स अप अ ट्रस्ट. और ऐसा नहीं हो सकता अगर तुमने ये चीज कर लिया ना तो तुमको कभी इंटरव्यू रिजेक्ट कर ही नहीं सकता. ट्रस्ट मी. Next was about auditing some legal expenses. So he was using more of a technical words. He was using more of a jargons which we used to learn, but हम बोलते नहीं है interview में. So if you speak it, interview feel confident कि यार this is the person who is aware of everything. Okay, so rest I think everything was fine. Great interview, Umang, Anand and Praneeth. Over to you, Kinjal.
Yeah, I just wanted to tell everyone that they didn't know the questions beforehand.
So yeah. So
yeah,
that was an impromptu live session.
Yeah, if anyone thinks that they knew the questions, they did not know the questions. it was impromptu and they got to know the questions here only. I mean, the people who were asking questions had prepared the questions, but the interviewee didn't know that.
But of course, they had prepared for the interview, as in ki what
Yeah.
are the more common questions
I
to
mean,
ask.
yeah, they obviously they would have prepared earlier, but then today they didn't know the questions. So can we take the questions in chat, or shall we ask them to unmute and ask the questions?
I think one by one we can unmute and start asking the questions. But just before we start that, Anand has to leave at 9 because he has some quiz at his college, IIM Ahmedabad. So let's give a round of applause for Anand for being a part of this session. We'll try to bring him back again because a lot of people also have questions about his college, how he reached there, राइट इफ सीए करने के बाद एमबीए करना होता है, क्या फायदे होते हैं, क्या नुकसान होता है, ये सब चीजों के लिए ऑल्दो वी हैव अदर पीपल एज वेल, वी हैव प्रणीत एंड वी हैव उमंग टू आंसर दोस क्वेश्चंस, but Anand has to leave, so thank you Anand, thank you for being with us.
Yeah, sure. Thanks Umang, and thanks CA Monk team. If anyone of you also wants to connect with me to ask any sort of questions, you can connect me over LinkedIn or Quora or anything, Instagram, anything. Yeah, thank you.
Great, thank you Anand, thank you very much. YouTube वाले भी जो देख रहे हैं, प्लीज आप अपने कमेंट्स YouTube पे पूछ लीजिए. we are just starting Q&A session. We'll take this for 15 minutes. जिसको भी questions है, please go ahead and unmute yourself.
Unmute yourself.
And
Yeah.
ask
Can
the
I ask a question?
Yeah, I also have a question.
Yes, please go on.
So I have a question, like when the question was asked related to legal expenses, so he didn't mention about SA 250. So will it cast a negative impression, like he's mentioning everything and he is going for a statutory job, but he's not mentioning about the SA 250? So will it be like he is not prepared or something? So
So SA 250 is like when you are giving an answer for a question in the exam, it will be relevant. But coming into the interview, you should be more of a practical approach. So it is not mandatory to quote SA 250, but he has excellently answered by answering his practical approach. It will be more than sufficient for answering those kind of questions.
okay, and one more thing I would like to say, like when like at the starting when you asked about the IFC and IC, the differentiation between the two, so he fumbled, like he said 139 and then he said 143. So like if we are not confident about anything, so we should of course, like should we avoid quoting the section, or we should be like, okay, let's say like what?
Yeah, definitely we should avoid it. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, so probably if you're not sure about the section, you can say the relevant section in the company, that
Exactly.
you can draft it that way. I mean, it would look bad if you quote the wrong section number.
Exactly.
So you can probably, if you're not sure, you can say that the relevant provisions in the Companies Act or the.
And one more thing, Umang, I would like to ask, like you asked about few seconds, and you asked this few seconds in a question when which was asked on the ethical ground. So will it be like you are framing the answer, like you are framing the answer in a fancy way? That's why you were taking some seconds, because if they asked about your like ethical things, so it should strike your mind right away, like no seconds or something like
but
that.
I think he asked for an example to give, right? So that might take time for you to think, right? He कौन सा ऐसा instant? That is what I guessed. That is what I perceived.
Okay.
So I think that's a great point that you've pointed out, that it can probably look that he's being questioned on ethics and he's taking time. So I think that's a good insight that you pointed out. But in general, when someone asks you for an example, you can probably once or twice in the interview take few seconds to think about it. But like Shivam already said that, for every question you cannot ask for time.
Exactly.
I mean, that would look very awkward, and the interviewer would think that he cannot think on the go and he cannot think immediately. He needs a lot of time. So in that way, but I think I appreciate the point that you've pointed out.
Thank you so much, Umang, for your precious time.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Hi everyone.
Hi Jatin, go on.
Yeah. So first of all, thanks a lot, Umang and Praneet. So those were really great interview questions and answers. So my question is that provided that you both are rank holders, so you must have given interviews in some other profiles like the leadership programs of FMCG companies. So can you tell me a little bit about your experience in those interviews, or and how can we prepare for such interviews? Like, what are the difference did you see in those companies and interviews? So I would love to know about that, and also the companies that you interviewed in this segment. Did you get the
So I will
question,
take
or should I
this.
repeat?
I got your question. So I was also before my MBA, I was also working in Marico in a leadership program or the management trainee profile. So I think we had 3 or 4 rounds of interviews. So one was the technical round. So to prepare the technical round, you need to divide it into 2 parts. The first part would be you need to prepare the CA final curriculum well, and the second part of technical interview would be based on your work experience. So I think you need to revisit and go back to the projects that you've done during your articleship and brush up your roles and responsibilities in the projects, the key highlights of the projects, or some recommendations that you give, which were something out of the box. So I think this is how I prepared for the technical round. Then there was one HR round, which was based on around it was around half an hour interview, which had the generic question like, where do you see 5 years down the line, goals, strengths, weaknesses, and why should I hire you? And tell me a time when you made a mistake, or tell me a time when you had a conflict, how did you handle it? Or tell me a time when you contradicted with someone and how did you project your opinion? So what they're trying to do in an HR interview is they want to understand how you actually think as a person. They don't want to, they'll try to take you out of the comfort zone. They'll try to deep dive into 1 or 2 questions and try to understand how you would handle a particular situation at hand, or what would be your approach. So even if you aren't they're not really concerned about technical skills. Technical skills can be taught to anyone. They are more interested about your attitude, about your way of thinking, your eagerness to learn. So that is what their focus is in a HR interview. And the third interview was with the CFO of the company. So that was a mixture of the first and the second interview. So it tested me both on technical skills as well as on HR case situation based questions. So one thing I think which stands out in such leadership interviews is also they might ask you 1 or 2 guesstimates. So guesstimate. So at Marico, I was asked guesstimate number of bottles of oil which are sold in Mumbai, or number of people who apply hair oil in Mumbai. So you would start with the population of Mumbai and then apply relevant filters and come up with a number. So they're more interested in a guesstimate. They are more interested to know how you would solve a problem. So they are not concerned about the mathematical calculation or anything. They just want to know what all parameters you would cover while solving this problem.
Great. Anybody else who has questions? Please go on.
Yes, I have one question.
Go on, Vidika.
In an interview, is it okay to counter question the interviewers? For example, in the first interview, as it was said that I have read about your profile and you have shifted jobs as well. So is it how to not sound aggressive or passive aggressive in such cases? And is it okay to turn the question to the interviewer?
So I'd like to take this. So I think the key is not to sound arrogant or something, because then it would reflect very badly on your character and your attitude. So you have to be assertive when you are speaking and be very polite and humble and down to earth and ask any genuine questions. But I won't really recommend that you try to turn the question on the interviewer. I mean, it's not a battle or a debate or something. It's an interview, a conversation. So I think the approach would be to not be arrogant and be humble and sound down to earth.
Yes, thank you.
So do we know about the panelist? Means he was so sure that I have read your profile. So do we know about them beforehand?
So in majority of the cases, you won't really know about the panelist. They'll be allotted to you on the spot. So you won't really get an opportunity to read about the profile of the panelist in most of the scenarios.
But
Okay, sir.
if you're smart enough, so the person who is coming out of the interview, you can ask you who is a panelist, and you can research about him on a LinkedIn or something sort of. So I did the same thing in my campus placement.
Okay,
Hello,
sir.
sir. I have a question.
Go on, Yogita.
Sir, is it a factor if we have an internship from non-firm and it will be a factor?
Yogita, your voice is breaking. Can you repeat your question?
Sir, if we have an internship from the small firm, local firm, not a well-known firm, is it affect our interview?
I would like to answer this. I am also from a mid-sized firm in normal city from Vijayawada itself. So
Okay.
ultimately, it depends upon your work experience rather than the size of the firm and the brand they have. So if you are strong enough to demonstrate your work experience well, it doesn't matter.
Like, sir, if we have no individually like companies related assignments, actually hold a company related assignments or individual firms, yeah, like I will be holding individual firms work, not a company related. Is it affect? We have no exposure related to it.
So it depends upon the type of profile you are applying for basically. So if you are dealing with taxation and if you are applying for the tax profile, it will match somewhat. So having experience of auditing the companies will be edge over others, but it doesn't really matter if you have strong basics about the work.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
My question is to Umang Gupta. Sir, my question is, why did you join IIMS after clearing CA? What was the purpose behind that?
Yeah, so thank you for the question. So I think there are 3 or 4 reasons why I chose to do an MBA post CA. So one would be, as a fresher CA, you don't really get a lot of opportunities to get into front-end investment banking or these big consulting firms. The opportunities for a fresher CA in these 2 domains are somewhat limited. So one reason was to get into investment banking or front-end investment banking or a consulting. The second reason was I think networking. So you meet 500 odd people from different cities of the country who are engineers. Some are lawyers. Some are economics graduate from SRCC. So when you study in a classroom environment, solving a case study. So in IIMS we have case study based off learning. So they'll give you a real life business case study and the entire class will try to solve it. So the learning is exceptional because we have diverse people from all backgrounds and the faculties are pretty amazing. So I think overall it broadens your horizon and improves your decision making skill because you would know how to approach a problem from 10 different ways. So in CA, what happens is we've got only one way of thinking. I think the ICI module approach of thinking, or we CAs generally tend to focus only on numbers and we probably ignore other aspects which are also important to the problem. So an MBA broadens your horizon because you for every problem you will know at least 5 or 6 ways of approaching it or solving it. So overall it broadens your horizon and makes you a better manager in the future.
So if I summarize, you're saying that it is not possible for a CA to get into investment banking.
So I think the opportunities to get into front-end investment banking for a fresher CA are very limited. I think only 0.1% or odd people would probably get into mid investment banking, but you won't really find a lot of opportunities in front-end investment banking for a fresher CA.
I have a question.
Please
Hello,
ask.
am I
Please ask.
audible?
Yes, Neha, you are audible. Please ask.
Sir, I have a question. Like, is it preferable to do MBA just after completing your CA degree, or is it like get some experience of the CA and then join the MBA and try for IIMs?
So I think there's no right or wrong answer to this. So even in my batch, we have got CAs who've got more than 3 years of work-ex, and there are also CAs who've got only 6 or 7 months of work-ex who do MBA just after clearing their CAs. So there's nothing right or wrong. I think the average work-ex should be around. I think that's my personal opinion, that you should probably do an MBA around 15 to 18 months of work. So that would that would help you to learn something, see the world, see the corporate world before joining an MBA. Because as a fresher, at times you are not able to appreciate the concepts which are taught in an MBA because you haven't really gone through the corporate life and you haven't really worked as a qualified chartered accountant. So my personal opinion would be 1.5 to 2 years of work-ex would be ideal before doing MBA. But having said that, there are like for me, even I had only 6 months of work experience. So I think there's no right or wrong answer to this. It just depends on what you want, and more importantly, when you clear the CAT exam and crack the interviews, because those things are also very uncertain and unpredictable. So it's a matter of there are a lot of parameters attached to it.
Thank you, sir, and all the CA monk team. Thank you, sir.
I have a question.
Please.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what will you prefer more, MBA or a CFA?
So I think these comparing MBA with CFA would be like comparing apples and oranges. I mean, CFA is an add-on finance course, while MBA is actually a college 2-year full-fledged college course which covers all the domains, right from say a supply chain to sales marketing. So I think CFA should be an add-on course for a CA. I mean, clearing the first 2 levels is reasonably easy for a CA, since most of the concepts are covered in our CA final SFM and IPCC FM, I think. So my personal view would be consider CFA as an add-on if you want to get into finance domain, but I don't think you can compare an MBA with a CFA, and the importance of MBA would be definitely more than a CFA.
Thank you.
Great. Any other? Does anyone else have a question? Okay, great. So if we do not have questions, we can proceed to next round of our session, right? So I'll just hand over it to Kinjal to brief about the event that we are conducting tomorrow, right? We also have an event tomorrow. It is like we did a mock today. We'll be taking your mock tomorrow. People who are interested, we'll take their interviews. The detailed debrief about the event will be given by Kinjal.
So anyone who is interested in giving a mock interview, anyone amongst you who's interested can send us the resume at, I'll just drop the email ID in the chat box. And second thing, if there are any further announcements, I would suggest you to like our page on LinkedIn and also follow us on Instagram, so that it's easier for you to understand that will it be profile specific, or how do you have to prepare, or what will it be a stress interview or not. So if you have anything, Umang sir just texted the email ID. So here you can drop your resumes. If you're interested in giving mock interview tomorrow, make sure you do it as soon as possible, because we'll be selecting only 3 people, and all the 3 people will be getting a prize money as well.
Right. So abhi जिनको interest है, right? People who are interested to practice the interviews live environment जैसे होते हैं, प्लीज राइट एन एप्लीकेशन. आप ऐसे समझो कि एक रियल टाइम आप कहीं पे अप्लाई कर रहे हो, उस हिसाब से आप अपना रेज्यूमे प्रिपेयर करो. वी आर गिविंग यू सम टाइम. ड्राफ्ट एन ईमेल and send it to the email ID that I've mentioned in the chat. I'll just spell it out: caalumni@camonk.com, caalumni@camonk.com. We'll also post this about this on our social media platforms. So please do like and keep following our social media platforms. Out of the applications that we receive, जितने भी applications हमको आएंगे, उसमें से we'll choose the best 3 applications and we'll have their mock interviews tomorrow. So जो लोग भी देखना चाहते हैं कि live interviews कैसे होते हैं, what should be done, what they've done right, what could be done right, what they've done wrong, and what should be avoided, please do attend tomorrow. We have lot of interesting questions lined up and prize money worth ₹3,000 for tomorrow, right? So इस email ID पे आप please कल सुबह 9 बजे से पहले अपने resume भेज दीजिए with your application. We'll shortlist and tell you in advance ताकि आप लोग भी interview के लिए prepare कर सकें. Tomorrow we have the session at the same time, 8 to 9 p.m. You will get a full 12-hour preparation time for the interview, right? So वो आप कर सकते हैं. Any other questions that any of you have?
So is there any criteria for applying like a CA or an article or a non like?
You can just mention, no, there's no criteria. Please apply. Just mention you are pursuing what you are. Just write a brief about yourself in the email, right? We will figure it out. What you are doing, what role you fit, or you are doing CA intermediate, or you're doing articleship. We'll sort it accordingly.
So I have a question. Umang and Shivam, what should be done after exams and before results to get better chances at the campus, and what should be done after results, so to have a better chance?
Yeah, so I think before the results, what you can do is, I think pehle thoda chill maar lo. You've worked hard and given the exam, so you could probably chill out for some time. And if you want to do something, you can probably start preparing your CV and showing your CV to a lot of seniors, because your CV is the first face of you when you're applying for a job. I mean, if your CV is not good, you probably might not get a shortlist, and you might not even get an opportunity to interview with the firm. So I think firstly, make a good CV and get it vetted from around 10 or 12 seniors or some good friends, someone who are already working in the industry. So their insights would really help you to improve your CV. I think also what you can do is prepare these basic HR questions. So you should make a list of 10 or 12 common HR questions, like tell me about yourself, strength, weaknesses, goals, career objectives, or something on these lines. So you can probably Google these questions, commonly asked questions, and prepare these 10 or 12 very common HR questions. And the third thing which you can do is stay abreast with the latest happenings and follow the current affairs which are happening across the world, both India and internationally. So you don't need to read, go into very depth and start reading very big articles and stuff, but you do need to have a brief knowledge about all the events which are happening. तो ऐसा नहीं है कि मतलब इन डेप्थ कुछ PhD जैसा करना है. You have to go very deep into one topic, but you should actually cover the breadth of all the topics, and थोड़ा idea होना चाहिए कि क्या हो रहा है in India as well as globally. So I think these are the 3 things which you can do before the result comes.
And what to be done post results? I mean, can you tell your experience that how you prepared for the campus, and what did you do immediately after the results, and something more on this?
So I think immediately after the results, pehle celebrate karo. You've cleared, all the hard works have paid off. So celebrate for a week or so. I mean, don't take a lot of stress at that time. Celebrate for some time. Post that, I think campus placements would start. They are generally, I think, a month after the results. So you can finalize your CV, and you can also start applying off campus to various firms. So there are many portals or many websites available on the internet which do offer you some off-campus opportunities. So you can apply for those, and stay connected with people, stay connected with your peers, because you never know what opportunity might come in. So stay connected with people कि तुम कहाँ apply कर रहे हो, कोई company कुछ नया job का application कहीं खुला है क्या, because if you're in touch with people you'll know which company is hiring, किसका क्या WhatsApp group बना है, what is the procedure to apply to a certain company. So I think staying in touch with people will also help you.
Thanks. And one thing I want to know, so did you give any mock interviews for preparing for the final round of interviews, or do you know any platform that make you prepare for such type of interviews?
Karthik, you are already in that group, I think. They're conducting the mock interview.
Yeah. But another platforms like the tomorrow is a short session, but to prepare in detail, like an MBA interview, MBA person prepares for their interviews. So any detailed platform you know about Umang and Shivam?
इससे डिटेल कुछ नहीं है और यही है बेस्ट.
My question is to Praneeth. Praneeth, can you tell me how did you prepare for government jobs? Like you are working with ONGC. Can you tell me how did you prepare for PSUs? Separate preparation for that?
There is no separate preparation. Just sorted out the companies which I am going to attend based on the package only. So I just given the interview and I got selected. There is no specific preparation required for PSUs.
But if we go through outside campus, so I think we need to give an exam and then there is a three-step procedure. So how can we prepare for that?
Basically, I don't have any idea coming out of the campus. I got it through campus only. I don't have any particular idea regarding the exam you were speaking about.
Okay, no issue.
Yeah.
I have a question from Umang. Just 2 seconds only.
Go on. जल्दी पूछो.
Sir, not from you. Rank holder.
अरे मेरे से नहीं, of course उनसे.
Umang, I want to ask a question. Like in case किसी student को taxation field चाहिए, but due to certain reason he or she is unable to score that much marks in final exams. So ऐसा कुछ like problem create होता है क्या? आपके बहुत सारे buddies होंगे जिससे आपको पता चला होगा कि ऐसा कुछ problem create हुआ है क्या? Like exams में अच्छे marks नहीं है, but he is interested to go in that field.
So I don't think companies generally देखते हैं आपके individual marks. So most probably they won't even ask you for your marks in a particular subject, say direct tax or an indirect tax. What is the filtering criteria? Would be the first criteria would be final CA rank. So that would be the first filtering criteria. Another criteria could be clearing all.
If a person is okay, sorry to interrupt. Sorry.
आप पूछ लो interrupt.
So I was saying the second criteria would be clearing all levels in first attempt. That would be the criteria, and the third criteria probably would be where did you do your internship from. But to the best of my knowledge, I've never seen any company ask for your marks in direct tax or your marks in indirect tax, because there is not a direct connection with your marks and how you would work or what you've done in your articleship. So they would give more importance to your prior articleship experience.
I have a question.
Please ask.
Yeah.
So is it like fine, like if we don't do our articleship from Big Fours, but we want to, like after becoming a chartered accountant, we try to go in like Big Four. So is there any preferences given to us? Like otherwise they select the ones who have done articleship from Big Fours?
Yeah. So as I said, if you have done the hierarchy of filtering would be a rank, then first attempt, and then the criteria of an articleship from a Big Four or a non-Big Four comes. So if you've cleared all levels in first attempt, or if you've got a rank or something, I don't see any difficulty in you getting into Big Four. They'll easily take you. You won't face any challenges.
Great. Any other questions?
My question is, at the time of campus placement, we have to select a city from where we want to give, or we want to select a campus. So I just come to know that people usually select South India for the campus placement. So is there any specific reason for that? Like companies usually come more in South India, or like we just I am North Indian student, so whether I should go for South India?
Shivam, for that, what I have done is I have done one research on that, on which sector or which zones, what type of the companies come. In South, mostly you'll find that service industry comes, okay? So because South is a market where you will find more of the service industries, and there are more of the service industries which are growing these days. So I'll upload the videos in day or two where I have done a complete research on what type of companies comes in which location and where do you find most of the companies coming into picture, and how to select a location. Okay, how to select the location in which you are supposed to fill it, and how you're supposed to fill the form when you are filling the campus placement form. So I've already recorded a video. I'll upload it in a day or two. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions from anybody? Otherwise, we can conclude.
I just want to add one thing.
Yes,
If
please.
anyone faces any problem in making or drafting their resume, you can check our alumni portal, and there we have a group called Getting Interview Ready, and you might find insightful things there. So you can go and check there if you face any problems while drafting your resume.
ग्रेट सो जितनी भी चीज़ें हम लोग डिस्कस कर रहे हैं, रेज्यूमे के टेम्पलेट्स, इंटरव्यू के लिए क्या प्रिपरेशन करना है, डूज एंड डोंट्स, all the interview sessions that we are conducting here, everything is uploaded on our alumni platform. The link to that is alumni.camonk.com. Please do visit and register yourself. I'll take a moment to thank all of you who are present here. A round of applause for yourself. You've reached here, right? A round of applause for Umang and Praneet. Thank you for coming and guiding us. We'll keep you in touch. We'll keep in touch with you. We'll try to bring these people again as and when you have doubts, right? Let us, I request everyone to please switch on the videos. Let us take a group photo. Let us take a group photo. Please, can you switch on your videos? उठ जाओ, सब नींद से उठ रहे हैं, सब नींद से उठ रहे हैं. गुड मॉर्निंग. ग्रेट ग्रेट. प्लीज सब लोग स्विच ऑन कर दो वीडियो. लेट अस टेक अ ग्रुप फोटो. 1 2 3 से चीज. से चीज. ठीक है. 1 2 3 से चीज. ग्रेट.
There are two screens. Yeah.
हाँ, मैंने दोनों स्क्रीन्स का ले लिया, दो फोटोज. कल के इवेंट में आना प्लीज मत भूलना. पीपल हु वांट टू रजिस्टर फॉर द इवेंट, प्लीज सेंड योर एप्लीकेशन टू CAalumni@camonk.com. We'll shortlist and tell you who has been selected for tomorrow, कल सुबह 9 बजे, so that you also have the time to prepare for the interview, right? Again, I'll thank the whole CA Monk team, Umang Gupta and Praneet Gurram. Thank you so much. I also thank the host for today, Kinjal. Thank you all. Thank you very much. Chale, bye-bye.
Yeah.